Some time after Saul's death, all the tribes of Israel approached David in Hebron and said, "When Saul was our king, you were the one who really ran the country. Even then God said to you, 'You will shepherd my people Israel, and you'll be the prince.'" In the presence of God, David made a treaty with all the leaders of Israel, and they anointed David as their king. David was 30 years old when he became king, and he ruled for 40 years. David and his men immediately set out for Jerusalem to take on the Jebusites who lived there. When they arrived, the Jebusites mocked David and said, "You should go home. Even the blind and the lame could keep you out. You can't get in here." They had convinced themselves that David couldn't break through. But David went right ahead and captured the fortress of Zion, known ever since as the City of David. David made the fortress city his home and developed it from the outside terraces inward. David grew greater and stronger because God, the Lord of the army of angels, was with him. Hiram, king of Tyre, sent messengers to David, along with timbers of cedar, carpenters, and masons to build a house for David. David took this as a sign that God had confirmed him as king of Israel, giving his kingship world prominence for the sake of Israel, his people. David took on more concubines and wives from Jerusalem after he left Hebron, and more sons and daughters were born to him. When the Philistines got word that David had been made king over all Israel, they started searching for him. David heard of their plans and went down to the stronghold. When the Philistines arrived, they deployed their forces in the valley of Rephaim. David prayed to God, asking if he should fight the Philistines and whether the Lord would help him to defeat this enemy. The Lord replied, "Go up, count on me. I'll help you beat them." David then went straight to where the Philistines were and smashed them to pieces. Afterward, David said, "God broke through my enemies like a flood of water." Because of this, David named the location of his great victory Baal Perazim, which means Lord of Breaking Through.